This tutorial will walk you through the process of completing an admissions application. To begin, navigate to the WKU homepage and click the Apply to WKU button at the top of the screen. Use the student types listed under each hyperlinked application to determine which application to complete. We will be completing the application as an undergraduate transfer student, so we will select the domestic and international application. It is important to read all directions printed at the top of each screen during the admissions process. The directions on this screen notify us of an application fee that must be paid upon application completion. On this page, you will be required to create a login account that will be for admissions application only. Please select the blue hyperlink that says Application Account Creation and follow the directions. Once you have created an account, enter in your new user ID and PIN, then click Log In. The application questions are very important, as you cannot get back to this screen once you begin your application. In our case, we would like to earn a bachelor's degree from WKU, so we will need to select Yes to the first question. Please answer each question with a red star beside it to proceed to the next screen. Please note the directions on this page tell us if we select any of the options that we need to send proof of our participation in these programs. If you have any questions about the documentation you need to submit, please contact the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. If you are a student seeking joint admissions, please select your current community college from the drop-down menu and enter your current community college student identification number. We aren't filling out this application as a joint admission student, so we will proceed to the next question. If you enter your Social Security number at the last step, it will help the application fill in information at a later point. First, select the term that you would like to be admitted to WKU. For joint admission students, you need to select the upcoming spring or fall term listed toward the bottom of the drop-down menu. In this case, it would be spring 2016. It is important to enter your information as it appears on your transcript and other government identification. Before proceeding to Part 2 of the application, it is important to note that you may need to send required documents needed for admission, such as transcript, identifying information, or proof of residency for WKU to make an admissions decision. As we begin Video 2 in our admissions application walkthrough, we will first turn to the application checklist. When you enter data in a section, a check mark will appear by that section. When you have provided all the application information, your screen will look like this. Once you have a check mark beside each section, click Submit Application to submit your application. Now let's turn and look at each of these sections individually. It is easiest to progress through the application in order, filling out each question and selecting Continue at the bottom. It is best to include your personal contact information when filling out this application. It is also important that your current state of residence and the state you are listed in your mailing address are the same. It is best to include your personal email address, since this is how the Office of Admissions will contact you. It is also important to include your current state of residence and the state you are listed on your mailing address are the same. Answering no to either of the bottom questions may mean the Office of Admissions will contact you regarding your residency. Not to worry, we just want to make sure that we get things right. Here is where you'll select the major you intend to pursue at WKU. Select Bachelor's Degree from the drop-down menu if you plan to complete a 4-year degree or if you've already completed an associate's degree and plan to transfer. Wait for the list of majors to populate after you select a degree. You may see Seeking Admission next to a program. This means a major has a certain prerequisite courses that must be taken before you proceed to the upper division. This box reminds you that some majors require prerequisite courses, a formal application, or GPA to enter into the upper level. You can go ahead and select the major now and work on the application process when you meet with an advisor. Even if you select a major that isn't available on a certain campus, you will still be able to select the campus. Please check with an advisor or admissions counselor about programs available on each campus if you are unsure. As you can see by the red asterisks, the only required information here is the name of your contact person, their relationship to you, and their contact phone number. Even if it has been a good number of years, you will need to enter your high school information. This can be easily entered by using the Lookup High School Code hyperlink. Select your state or country, select your city, and then your high school, and click the Copy button. It is important to complete all the required boxes in this form. In the event that you don't remember the exact date you graduated from high school, you can give your best guess of the month and be certain about the year. If you do not complete high school, please list the date you received your GED and answer the corresponding question. This screen is similar to the high school information, but only needed if you are a transfer student. While you are not required to enter an attendance beginning or end date, it does help the application process. This additional information is required when considering your application. If you answer yes to either of the judicial-related questions, you'll be required to provide an explanation. If you do not provide an explanation, your application will be considered incomplete until this information is received. If you have questions about an incident, it is best to disclose the information on your application. If you have concerns, contact the Office of Admissions. If you don't have enough time to finish the entire application, just click the Finish Later button. Your place in the application will be saved and you'll be returned to the main application screen. To get back into your application, select the same link as before, enter the login information you created, and then select the hyperlinked application you started. Selecting the term will send you to the checklist, and selecting the section will send you to the last completed section. This is a sample of the organizations and activities you can be a part of while at WKU. This is not a required question, but it is helpful if you would like more information from these departments. Once you have completed the last section, you'll be sent back to the checklist. Again, it is important to read all the information and instructions on each page. This page gives information about accuracy and scholarship deadlines. When you read all this information, click Submit Application. Congratulations! Now your application has been submitted to WKU. It is important to note that you may need to send required documents needed for admission, such as transcripts, identifying information, or proof of residency for WKU to make an admissions decision. This concludes this tutorial. If you have any questions about the admissions application, feel free to contact your campus with questions. Thanks for watching, and go Hilltoppers!